Okay, so I'm Jean Lavieille from AEW Europe. AEW Europe managed 17 billion of assets in Europe, and we have a sister company in USA managing also the same amount of assets. So we are not an actor working only on logistics, because we invest in offices, retail, etc. And but we are one of the asset manager having a dedicated team for logistics. And right now we have a fund which is in the process of raising capital. Logistic fund, which is the result of the merger of three different funds. The first one having been set up in '99, and I can say that from the beginning of 2000, we have followed two routes to invest in logistics. One through dedicated funds, and the other one with funds investing in different class of assets. So for the logistics funds, we are mid-term or long-term investors. The other fund being, let's say, short-term investors. And we think that in the future, you have to be big to be efficient in logistics. So we will never have the size of Prologis, but we think that in Europe it's possible with a portfolio of 3 million square meters in the main European countries to be an actor in the logistics sector. You have to be big because to be efficient in this market, you have to accept a structural vacancy rate in your portfolio. It's not possible to invest only in buildings rented for 10 years for a good tenant. So if you want to have good relationship with your clients, you have to accept a short-term lease, and to have this kind of policy, it means that you have to be big. Right now, in the logistics fund, we have 1 billion of assets. It's mostly 1.6 million square meters, mainly in France, Italy, and in the future, clearly, the target is Germany, Benelux, and probably one day Central Europe. When I'm saying Central Europe, I'm thinking to Poland in first.
I agree with everything you say. You have to be big, so we are. So I run Prologis in Europe. We've got 13 million square meters under management, owned and under management, approximately 9 billion euros of value. That rests across four structures, part balance sheet, and then across three ventures. One pan-European fund, there's UK, Western and Central Europe. One dedicated targeted fund, which is Western Europe and London, and then a joint venture with Allianz. And we are a big part of the 17 billion that James just referred to. We just recently closed on perhaps the biggest transaction in the market since before the downturn, in acquiring 100% of the interests in our public fund, Pepper. And that, combined with existing completed developments that are already on balance sheet, adds up to about 3.8 billion of the total portfolio. And we fully intend to recapitalize that over time into existing ventures, as well as potentially a new venture. So we'll certainly be a big part of that capital reorganization, if you like, in the market. Big is important, but it's not the only reason to be. Is really, really important for our customers. And the reality is our customers don't have enough choice in terms of having operators that have a pan-European or even global focus. So this is truly a sector that is underpinned by the customer, and long-term enterprises in this sector will be only successful ultimately and only can be long-term enterprises if they can service that customer need, which is a pan-European and ultimately global requirement. So I think that's about it.
Great, thank you. Ian.
Thank you, Philip. And I'd agree with a lot of what you said as well. My name's Ian Warboys. I'm the CEO of P3 Point Park Properties. We're a warehouse logistics specialist in that we asset manage and develop warehouses only, have no other real estate class in our portfolio. We have 1.5 million square meters of assets across 8 countries. We operate with either assets or in offices in 12 countries, only in Europe, so we're pan-European. And I say we're trying to give Prologis a run for their money.
Good. Stefan.
Thank you, Richard. Is it on? Yeah. I represent IVG Institutional Funds, which is part of the IVG Group, which manages roughly 22 billion asset under management all across Europe. We ourselves, as institutional funds, manage 12 billion for institutional clients. Most of the assets sitting in Europe, and we also have 1 billion in the US and Canada. This is actually our field of business. We are initiating and placing funds for institutional clients, and we are so far now rather as an office player than a logistics player. And we recently entered this field of business beginning of this year, because, and I very much agree with your analysis, because we run sort of the same thing end of last year, because we track back 30 years statistics in the US with office, retail, and logistics assets, analyzing the returns and the volatility of the returns, and we came to the conclusion that logistics definitely plays a big part and a valuable part in an institutional real estate portfolio. So that's was the point when we decided to enter this asset class, and since we are not, let's say, the born logistics asset manager, we teamed up with Garber Logistics, one of the market player and market leading player actually in Germany. So, and in addition, we thought it's a good start to start with something easy. So we began with Germany, and at the beginning of this year, we decided to start with the IVG Garber Logistics Funds, which is now in placement. We've raised 90 million, and in a couple of days, we start investing in Germany.